Okay, now let's accomplish our register functionality. Let's complete this. So in order to accomplish register functionality, what I'll do is I'll go back to the controller code, and the controller code is here, and this is the register controller that we are talking about. So in register controller I have got some information. I have a backend ready which I can use. So if I want to use the registration functionality, what I'll do is I'll use these endpoints. So I'm just commenting and keeping it just for reference. Now I need to register to the backend using this URL. So what I'll do is I'll declare a var here, var URL equals this. So this is my URL. Then what I'll do is I need to use HTTP service of Angular in order to make a backend call. So I'm injecting HTTP here, and I'll also put HTTP over here, and I'll close this array. So now using HTTP, what we need to do is http.post, and we'll make a post to the URL, and we also need to pass the user object. So whatever user object we will be passing, that will reach, and we will say then, and then we'll take two functions in it, and I'll say then function for success, and this is the first function, and comma I can take the second function. Just a moment. So then typically requires two functions, so let me go and put it function 1, function 2, and these two functions will be called based on success and success or error. So if success happens, this is the function that is going to call with response. If error happens, then this is the response we are going to get. So now we can go and fill in the code for these two functions. So I'll go and put it like this. And yeah, so let's go ahead. Now when I hit this endpoint, I need to have a user object. I also need to inject the scope variable here, scope, and I need to take the scope also here. Now how the scope from register view will be connected here is, okay, in scope I need to have these three parameters filled in. Scope.user should have a username, password, and email. So let me go to register view. Wherever we have username, that is, this is the input tag. So here I'll put ng model, and I'll say user.username. Second one, I'll go and say ng model equals user.email, and third one I'll say ng model equals user.password. So when I say this, what will happen is username, email, and password will be kept in one user object, and that user object we are going to use to hit the backend. And one more change I'll do is in this form I'll remove this action and method. And now the register function should get called when we click this button. So I'll put ng click equals, I'm calling register function, and this register function has to be defined in our controller. So in our controller, whatever logic we are executing here, that will be inside scope.register equals, register is a function, and this function is going to register our user, and this post call I'm moving inside the register function. So whenever this function is called, there is a post call initiated to the backend, and what I'll do for now is I'll put alert response so that we can see what response is coming from backend. In case error is coming, I'll say alert, and I'll say error plus response, and here it's success plus response. So this way we will just validate how our function is behaving. So this is success plus response, right? So I need to append one more thing here, the server URL, server, because this URL is right now it's a relative URL. I need to get the server URL, then server plus this URL will make the overall URL to which we are posting. So I'll put it in. I don't want to put that into recording. I don't want to expose and make the server public. So I'll put this and show you the request. So I have put the corresponding URL. So I'll go and say bztest1 is the username, bztest1 at gmail.com is the email, bztest12345 is the password, and I say register. And the moment I do that, I wait, and it says this user has got successfully registered. So this is like registration has completed for us.